Shalom, shalom, everybody. Welcome to Israel Brief Central, where you come for your top stories every Monday to Thursday with me, Rolene Marks, and brought to you, as always, by Lay of the Land. So let's take a look at those top stories. But before we do, just a reminder that this week we'll be bringing you your headlines Monday to Wednesday, because Thursday sees the start of the Jewish festival of Shavuot. So let's take a look at those top stories, and we begin with news that CNN anchor Christiane Amanpour has officially apologized to Rabbi Dee for horrendous comments that she made about the murders of his wife and daughter on April the 10th. So let's take a look at the backstory. On April the 10th, Amanpour sat down with the Palestinian Authority Prime Minister Mohammed Shtayyeh and referred to the brutal murders of Lucy, Maya and Rina D as a shootout. This implies that the women had the opportunity to defend themselves, and that indeed a shootout between the two sides occurred. Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, they were brutally murdered at close range, and her comments really upset millions around the world, notwithstanding the Dee family. Now, Christiane Amanpour has form when it comes to these kinds of comments about Israel, and one would caution, judging by the reaction, that maybe she apply a little bit more circumspect journalism moving forward. So let's take a look at what has happened. Amanpour apologized live on air on CNN last night, and also in a written apology to Rabbi Dee. Now, as a result of her comments, millions were outraged, and it prompted media watchdog Honest Reporting to take action. They launched a petition and reportedly appealed to CNN to ensure that Amanpour apologizes. We're in a very unusual act. Israel's government also got involved, which is unusual because Israel is a democracy and we respect the freedom of the press, no matter how critical it may sometimes be. However, this went beyond criticism. This, apart from being absolutely factually incorrect, caused a lot of emotional hurt and trauma. Israel's consulate in Atlanta, where CNN is headquarters, reportedly wrote a letter, and it was reported in the media that Israel's foreign ministry had also drafted a letter, but we have no further details than that. According to the Jewish Journal, Rabbi Dee is seeking legal action against CNN, but that hasn't been reported anywhere else. If it is, we will be sure to bring you any updates. The IDF have demolished the West Bank apartment of a terrorist responsible for the murder of Or Eshkar and the wounding of two others in Tel Aviv in March earlier this year. Eshkar was shot and succumbed to his wounds 11 days later. Now, when IDF soldiers arrived on the scene, they were met with resistance from Palestinians who threw explosives and fireworks towards our troops, who had to be covered by snipers. There was an exchange of fire, and thank goodness no IDF personnel were injured in the exchange. Now, finally, after months, Prime Minister Netanyahu has received an invitation to visit the United Arab Emirates. However, there is a catch. The Prime Minister received an invitation as part of the COP28 conference on climate that will be held in Abu Dhabi in November later this year. President Herzog has also received an invitation. Now, we're still waiting for an individual invitation to be extended to the Prime Minister. There are various schools of thought as to why he hasn't received one. One could be concerns from the Emiratis that he could use a visit to verbally attack or make some kind of announcement against Iran. The United Arab Emirates very much see themselves as trying to negotiate some kind of peace or rapprochement with Iran. So we will keep you updated whether or not the Prime Minister will be receiving an individual invitation sometime soon. And finally, 20 Israeli firefighting teams are trying to control fires around the Dead Sea area. Teams from around the areas as well as volunteer firefighters have been battling the blazes for at least 2 days. And according to the spokesperson from Israel Fire and Rescue, the fires are believed to have been as a result of Palestinian arson. Yesterday, there were forest fires, very close to the Israeli city of Petah Tikva. However, these aren't subscribed to arson. It is very, very dry at the moment in Israel. There are warnings of forest fires. And apart from blocking or causing the traffic and the train traffic to come to a standstill for a couple of hours and be rerouted, it is now under control and traffic is open. And that's it for your headlines today. Don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. I fell in love with Yulia the monk seal. So many of you did as well. There is an article up there. It will also be featured on our Facebook page a little later today. So while you are there, give us a like, a follow, share our content. You guys know what to do. Our YouTube channel is at The Israel Brief. Please consider subscribing by clicking on the red subscribe button. And we're on Twitter at LayOfTheLand5. I'm Rabbi Dee. This is The Israel Brief. Don't forget to join me again tomorrow for your top stories.